Bob and Louise tell the story of what went wrong with their brand new camper next.
We're only looking to get something that we paid for.
Welcome to the channel. I'm Liz, and unfortunately, lately I've been hearing some nightmare stories of people that bought brand new campers and things did not go exactly as planned. Lots of repairs, failures, major problems. In this video, I interview Bob and Louise, who share their story of what happened with their brand new Grand Design fifth wheel. I am appalled that people can spend thousands of dollars, over $100,000 on a brand new camper and find major failures almost from the get-go. I do recommend that if you buy new, now you know you should do this when you buy used, but if you buy new, you should definitely get an inspection. So let's hear Bob and Louise's story and share this story so we can get the word out and maybe we can bring some change to the RV industry.
We ordered it in November of 2021, which was right in the middle of the pandemic. We were concerned because we had read online of some of the structural issues that people were having in the kitchen. We figured by the time that they had started building ours that the issues would have been engineered out, but evidently they weren't. Right now, I think they're on the fourth repair plan to fix the problems with the rear kitchen. We were going to take your advice and get an RV inspector, but between the time it was delivered, we were ready for our trip. We couldn't do it. We did not realize it had a problem. We got it April of 2022. We got on our trip, and by July, we noticed we had a complete structural failure in the back of the RV. Because I have this OCD, everything's got to be level. I thought I felt the floor up in the kitchen, which is elevated above a storage space, I thought I felt it kind of sagging a little bit. It was sinking on the edges, which was causing the slides to bind up a little bit. Grand Design offered to have the dealer make the repairs. The dealer took it back. They had such a new workforce that I don't think they were set up to actually do all the repairs. They tried though.
Let me show you where I am right now. I am in Mount Hood Village in Welches, Oregon. And look, I am backed up to forest. It is so lovely. This campground is next to a wildlife recreation area, Wildwood, which is gorgeous, and there is endless hiking. Now, Welches is outside of Portland. It's close to Mount Hood, as the name implies, so there's lots of stuff to do in the area. Now, this campground is part of a Thousand Trails add-on called Trails Collection. I did a recent video about Thousand Trails, so check that out here. Now, I am on the move from Oregon to Glacier National Park, way up there in Montana, and I'm using RV Trip Wizard to help me plan my travel. They actually have a radius of how many miles that you want to drive that you can set. So for example, if you only want to drive 300 miles a day, I generally do about 250, 300, you can set that on the radius and it makes it easier to find the campgrounds. Now, when you look at your campground options, you can see reviews, you can see amenities, and you can even sort that when you're searching to make sure, for example, that you have full hookups. There's a rumor that RV Trip Wizard is going to raise their prices starting August 1. So if you sign up for RV Trip Wizard now, not only will you get the old price, but you will lock in at that old price every year when you renew. If you're interested in RV Trip Wizard, don't pay full price. I have a special link that gives you 25% off, and you'll get a free 7-day trial.
When we started on our next trip, we were heading out to Denver, Colorado, and we were going to be passing by Grand Design anyway, so I asked them if they could take a look at the repairs. They said, we can take a look at the repairs, but you're not going to be able to get into our service center right away. I said, I totally understood that. When they looked at it, they said it wasn't okay. They got us into part of the shop just to make the repairs structurally sound. And they did it what we thought was a good job. Once we continued on down the road, the repairs weren't 100%, and we now just have a date of November 2023 to get into the service center to have those issues looked at and possibly another major failure on the unit itself.
Now, the one thing that Bob left out was in between all of these issues is he repaired a lot of them. Actually, probably could have been left and it would have been better. He supported the floor. I mean, he had spent a day repairing.
It had kind of completely failed, and I had to make temporary repairs. We have 2 slides up in the kitchen. Both slides are Schwintek mechanisms. If they're out of adjustment at all, they will start to fail, and that's what failed. So I had to jack the floor back up from underneath and put supports underneath so that we could operate those slides so we could continue on down the road.
Because she actually had everything up on jacks. And it happened to be raining out, but he's like, this or we have no vacation left. So like I said, he did a great job fixing it. It might have been better if we just left it that way. When we first got to Grand Design and, they said, hey, we'll take a look at it. And then they're like, no, we have to fix this. We can't let you go out with this. I was pretty impressed. Unfortunately, they were great to us. They took it in, they repaired it. The one thing we found afterwards was a little confusing is 2 other people had the same situation with the slides. They fixed theirs the same way, each of theirs, and ours was fixed differently. Theirs seemed to be okay, ours are not. I think they're a little sick of hearing from us. We're only looking to get something that we paid for.
I think the reason why they're bringing us in is because we are having another type of situation with the main floor. This model is what they call a wide body. The frames are narrower than the main floor. So those main floors are supported by what they call outriggers. I've seen some people on the 390 group that the outriggers have, the welds have broke, they have bent, and the floor is starting to sag around those outriggers. Ours, it seems like the outriggers are actually bending the main frame and it's starting to sag. So with that sag, the wall starts to lower, and anything attached to the wall, which would be our one shelf, our countertop, that starts to separate. Our stairs are attached to the other side, they're becoming loose. So with that sag, everything is becoming loose in the living room and even up on the bar top where we are now.
Knowing what you know now and everything that you have been through, would you still have ordered this?
No, absolutely not. And I think we both agree on that. I mean, we had looked at another brand, and it was sort of between the two. And we thought, well, Grand Design's been around a little longer, and they had a good reputation. I'm not sure what happened. They definitely need some new engineers there, I gotta say that. So no, I would never buy this one again, and I would not recommend Grand Design to anybody at this point.
I'll definitely agree with Louise. I would not have sunk in the money that we did into this if we knew that they still had an engineering issue with it. And that's what it comes down to. They misengineered it. They seem to be having so many problems with so many of them. I think they're having a hard time keeping up.
We're not asking to do anything special. All we want is what we paid for.
If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and especially share. I appreciate you getting the word out so we can shine a light on the situation and hopefully bring about change to the RV industry. If you have a story that you'd like to share about things that didn't go to your expectations in your new camper, please let me know in the comments. As always, these are exciting times to push past fear, build confidence, and live amazing.